Welcome to PrepsNet Coach Speak with Hoover Bucs head lacrosse coach John Wittig. Here's your host, Aubrey Johnson.
Welcome back, Coach.
Appreciate it.
All right, so we had a spring break and 2 other weeks since we last met. We've had a number of games, so let's talk about a few of these. Back on the 21st, you had Briarwood and had a rough game with them. Tell us about that.
That's right. Yeah, I think they have a very experienced team, and they knew what was in store for that night. And we were kind of thinking ahead, I think, to the break a little bit.
Right.
Kind of got ahead of ourselves a little bit, and just
Sure.
couldn't recover from a large deficit.
Okay.
They played really well.
Okay, good deal. So then back after that, you played on March 3rd. You beat Oak Mountain by a score of 9-8 in overtime.
That's
that
right.
had to have been an exciting game.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was back and forth for a little while. Then they went ahead by a few. We fought back to tie it up, and then we took them to overtime, and it was a rough overtime. A lot of turnovers,
Right.
A lot of weirdness, and then we hit a crazy shot. I hit a couple ricochets into the goal.
Oh, wow.
Which is always exciting.
That is exciting.
So yeah, that was a fun one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal. So then next up, you beat Hendersonville. Where are they from? Is that Tennessee?
It's in Tennessee.
Okay.
I believe it's right outside of Nashville.
Right.
I think that team is comprised of 4 different schools, kind
Oh,
of conglomerated into
goodness.
one team.
Okay.
So they operate kind of outside of the sanctioning in Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's why they play a schedule of Alabama
Right.
teams and everything else.
Gotcha.
But they were a tough opponent.
Yeah. Beat them 10-9 though.
Yeah.
You got the best of them.
Yeah, it took a hell of an effort in the fourth quarter. Coming back from an 8-3 deficit, we scored 7 straight goals and put them away. 10-9, we let one in right at the end. But yeah, that was a crazy game. It's another one where we kind of had to storm back.
Yes.
That we've kind of become a second half team, to say the least.
Right.
But that's okay. I think we can prepare for that and survive the first half, and then really make a pay in the second half.
Right. Good deal. So then you had a game with Auburn that got rescheduled.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that one in just a second. You only have 3 games left on the schedule for the regular season. We're at the end, Coach.
That's right. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Goes by fast.
That Auburn game that I mentioned is next. You played them back in February. What do you think you'll see differently from them this time?
Yeah, I mean, we're hearing a lot, in terms of their zone defense, and I think we just didn't get to see it a whole lot when we played them last time. We just didn't have the ball.
Right.
So we're looking for that again and just trying to figure out how we can exploit those looks and make sure we keep possession of the ball on our end.
Right.
And on a Friday night, that will be their senior night, it's imperative that we show up ready to roll. It's going to be a 2-hour drive on a Friday night. So hopefully these kids can make it down there and meet too. So we're looking forward to it, but it should be an interesting matchup for sure.
Sure. Okay. Then on Saturday, you play host to Huntsville High School.
That's right.
What do you expect to see from the Panthers?
Yeah, so they've they're a program that's struggled in years past. And I think they're kind of on a much better path now, where they have the coaching and they have some talent there that is allowing them to kind of separate themselves, I think. So hopefully in the north part of Alabama, they can become the team up there, since that's how we all refer to the north side of Alabama as Huntsville.
Yes.
Might as well
Yes.
keep the namesake alive up there.
Sure.
So I think, like I said, I think they have great coaching up there, great resources as well, with all the guys that moved down from the north side or the northeast of the country,
Right.
to be engineers in the area and stuff like
Sure.
that. So they're similar to how we talk about Thompson. Like they're currently asleep, but if they wake up, watch out.
Maybe a sleeping giant.
Maybe so, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's our senior night. It's really at noon, so it's our senior day,
Okay.
I guess. But it should be a good day. Hopefully, everybody has a good time, and then prom that night. So
Oh, wow.
it's an interesting day here.
That's a big day.
Yeah,
That's a big day.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Good deal. So then your final game is against Mountain Brook. What do you think you'll see from the Spartans?
Yeah, so we play them tough every year, as do they
Right.
play us tough as well. So
Right.
it's definitely a rivalry that spans back to the early days of lacrosse here in the state.
Nice.
We kind of went back and forth winning state championships. They've obviously been dominant recently with winning 3 in a row at one point. But we still play them tough every year. We want to make sure we show them that it's still that same old rivalry. So
Right.
We're definitely bringing that juice, and we want to, like, since we're at home, we might as well make it worth it, and show them what we got. So, especially a season finale, and then we'll probably have a week off before we play a playoff game.
Okay.
We're trying to leave everything else on the field. So, give them what we have.
Good deal. So right now you're 9-7 overall, 6-3 in the state, doing really well. After that last game, you've got playoffs coming up, I believe, on the 18th.
Yeah.
Start, right?
That's when they can start. We don't know the seeding yet, and a lot of our matchups and results from those matchups will determine seeding.
Sure.
Since Auburn is the current 1 seed, we could potentially move them down. And then since Mountain Brook could potentially take over that 1 seed, we could potentially keep them from doing that.
Okay.
But I think we're locked in to the 4 and 5 seed.
Okay.
Which means we'll probably play Vestavia in that matchup. So we'll see how it shakes out. But like I said, we determined a lot of it. We kind of hold a lot of people's destinies in our path.
Yeah.
So people are counting on us, and I think we know that, but we don't feel it as pressure. We just know what we got to do. So, but yeah, playoffs are always fun, especially this year with the kind of added, intensity with there being only 6 teams in that bracket.
Yes.
So we're very much looking forward to being a part of that, and hopefully we can get a home playoff game, which is still in contention for us. So we're looking forward to it.
Good deal.
Yeah.
So tell us about the players. I mean, last time we spoke, there were certain players that were doing well. What about now? You've worked through the middle of the schedule. Who's playing really good for you now?
Yeah, so we have a couple of young guys again. So I think I touched on some young guys before. So Bryce Mazey, I think I might have mentioned him before, but he's setting records for a freshman.
Wow.
For stats, the goals and assists and points
That's
total.
awesome.
So right now he's on pace, and really only has to score 1 more point to have the 3rd best season all time in terms of stats. So
That's fantastic.
and the top 2 seasons are out of reach, so we're not even going to get into that. But
Right.
So he's playing well, to put it very lightly.
Good.
And then we have a young guy playing defense for us who's really stepped up. He dropped a barbell on his face the other day, so he was a little banged up, so he wasn't going to play. And then as we were down in the second half, he said, "You know what? I'm gonna put the gear on. I'm gonna make it happen."
Yeah.
And then when he stepped up, I think we turned things around. So yeah, and that's Hudson Jeter. So he's a guy that's been stepping up again at kind of in the middle of the field between the lines playing defense. So
Nice.
He's been good.
Good deal. Well, things seem to be rolling and heading straight on over into the playoffs. I guess we'll see what happens these next few games, and that'll determine a lot, won't it?
Absolutely. Yep.
All right.
Just like you'd like it.
Good
End of the
deal.
season determines everything.
Well, Coach, that's our show. We appreciate your time. And as always, we appreciate yours. Join us in a couple of weeks for what will be a playoff version of Coach Speak.